Hello, 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 hello. It's Sean Brady back again with another fabulous interview for the Prosperous Careers Lunch and Learn. And I have expert career strategist Shary Raske with me. Shary, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Sean. How are you?
I'm smiling. I'm with you. How can I not be? So I brought in Shary today. As I mentioned, she is one of our expert panelists, and she has had a well-defined career. How long have you been doing this?
25 years.
25 years. And you've seen a whole bunch of different changes with technology, with the scope of our workforce, and you've helped out a lot of people.
I have.
And some of your highlights are, I know you're one of the top salary negotiators, I would say probably across the country, if not just in the St. Louis area. Mm-hmm. But you just have a certain expertise in career strategy, which I love, especially since my end of things is sales strategy, or part of it. And as I told you before, we like to get into people's why, right? Mm-hmm. And for those of you who haven't listened before, we love getting into what Simon Sinek said, start with why. And it's what drives your business and your life and your purpose sometimes. Most of the time, even if you don't state it. So, Shary, we'll start off with that question. What's your why?
So, Sean, part of my why is I teach what I need to learn myself. And there's times where all of us as human beings get stuck and stalled, and sometimes it's just helpful to bring in an outside point of view to really listen and get that perspective of what might be the go-around so we don't have to live our life stuck. And so I model what I teach, and then I pass it on to the people that hire me.
And what's the name of your business?
Courageous Change.
I love it. And what's the why behind Courageous Change?
The why behind Courageous Change is I absolutely hate wasted talent. People who are in the wrong fit career, or they have mastered what they've set out to master, but they don't know how to get to the other side of what's next for them. And so I come in, go shoulder to shoulder with them, have conversations to help them figure that out and get to the other side and create something brand new for them that's perfect.
Wow. Thanks for doing that.
You're welcome.
And that's why we have you here as part of the Prosperous Careers Lunch and Learn. I told you she was an expert. As an expert, what are some of the things that you wish more people knew? Because, people are in their careers, right? And they're professionals. But what do you see a lot of commonplace where it's like, oh my goodness, I wish I could have got to you a year ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago. What would you like people to know straight away?
Well, I'd like people to know that if they're not learning something every day and curious about how the world of work works, life will be passing them by because it's changing very, very quickly. And when I mean be curious, when you go by a skyscraper, what about asking the question, who puts the carpeting in when it's a brand new build? Who did you know there's occupations for toilet partition installers for major high rises? Now that's a career that we should explore.
I did not know that.
Yes.
That I used to be in commercial real estate.
So be curious, number one, and stay current. For instance, every 60 to 90 days, things change on LinkedIn in terms of how the interface works. LinkedIn was just bought out about 6 months ago. And how you do search for market research has changed totally. So if you don't stay current with that stuff, you miss out on opportunities of who's doing what. So one of the things that people often overlook with their transition plan is find people that you have things in common with, because they're more likely to help you than people who don't have any connection to you.
I feel like I should update my LinkedIn profile and all my social media profiles
Right.
now. If it's changing every 6 months, oh my gosh, I haven't changed it in a while.
Right. So if you're doing a search and you're trying to find a specific type of person to influence, if you haven't stayed current on how to do those kind of searches on LinkedIn, it's not the same as it was 6 months ago.
Oh, wow. That's valuable information. What else do you want people to know straight away, whether they can be your client right now or they might never, but it's like, could you really use this knowledge?
Well, one of the things in terms of, this is more tactical than strategic, but if you are looking for work, it would behoove you to go to Indeed.com, copy and paste.
Indeed?
Indeed.com. That's a job board that harvests job leads from everywhere, from a lot of different job boards. But find 10 job descriptions that match you. Copy and paste those 10 job descriptions into a Word document, and then do a search on what are the most frequently repeated words, and are those words in your resume? Because a recruiter's not going to find you on LinkedIn, a recruiter's not going to find you on Indeed if your resume doesn't have the words that are in the job description.
And that's really smart, especially if those are the 10 job descriptions that you really like. No rocket surgery here. Wow, okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, that's a really great tidbit of information. Anything else you'd like to share with the audience right now?
Well, I
know there's a ton because I've seen all your videos that you have out there, and I have not gotten through them all.
Well, one of the things I love speaking about to different groups is about salary negotiation.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things I'm not finding in salary negotiation books is how to fake confidence. Because if you're coming in and you're pretty beat up because you got laid off unexpectedly and you're traumatized, and all of a sudden they ask you how much money you want to be making, and you haven't worked for 6 months and you're bleeding financially, and you say, I'll take anything. Well, guess what?
You'll get anything. And that might not be what you want.
And you leave money on the table, which is really tragic.
Right.
It's really tragic.
Okay. Wow. You have a book.
And unnecessary.
You're going to put that in a book, right?
Mm-hmm.
When's your book coming out?
Well, the book on salary negotiation isn't out yet, but I am going to be probably February of 2018. I have a book coming out called Chin Up, Chin Out Job Search. And it's specifically an encouragement book for people who are discouraged, but it's also a how-to book in terms of what are the current methodologies for making a career transition.
Oh, so great. Perfect. Well, we'll definitely interview you again before the release of that book. Meanwhile, Shary, Raske, Courageous Change, thank you. Thank you for being here.
You're
and
welcome.
Thanks for participating in our group. I know that our listeners are far and wide, and even right in our backyard. So for everybody listening to this, on behalf of them, thanks for sharing your information and your expertise.
You're very welcome, Sean.
All right, everybody out there in prosperous career land, we will see you on social media.